post-war time. Hello, everyone. I am starting the show. We're ending the last show. Happy Sunday to you. Just going to give you guys time to get that alert and tune in. We're ending the last show. Happy Sunday to you. See, you know what? Let me make sure that I get that alert and tune in. Mute it out so that here we go. Mute. That way you won't get that echo. Okay, we're going to go on a little early, so that's why I wanted to make sure get my mics right and get my headset on, get my hair right. But we're going to talk about, and you see I've already got posted if you guys are tuning in. We're going to talk about my books today, so that's pretty cool. Black Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair and Every Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair. It's been a pretty big deal, and those books are doing really well. And I really wanted to let's get my hair pulled back. There we go. Mics. Okay. Yeah. You know, we wanted to talk about the books and kind of get your questions about my books because I've done these cyber readings. I'm really behind on my Every Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair cyber reading. But we did Black Woman's Guide complete over the summer and spring. So that was really, really a fun time for me because I'm always able to communicate with you and just get you just informed and to increase your knowledge on how we can handle a lot of the things that we are concerned about as relates to our hair. So we're about to go on a few minutes early. I think it's like 2 minutes early. So we are ready to go, but I always like to get you guys on first. Gives you a chance to get on air. So it's coming on now. Mics will be hot, as they call it in the studio, in a minute. And then we're going to talk. So get your questions ready for me. We're going to talk about whatever you like to talk about. But we will be talking about my 2 books, Black Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair and Everyone's Guide to Beautiful Hair. She's a hairdresser, psychologist Lisa Akbari. Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday as we go on live in the WDIA studios and iHeartRadio. I know you guys are listening to me all over the world and around the city and state and country. And so happy Sunday to you. This has been an outstanding Sunday for me, a really, really busy Sunday. You know, I love my pastor and I love my first lady over at Cane Creek Church, but I did not visit today. I haven't been there in a few weeks. But my daughter was speaking at Olivet Church today, and she spoke for their Women's Day. And I was really, really excited about that. I have the privilege of sitting in on her speaking and her talk with the congregation. So I want to say thank you to Pastor Whalem and First Lady Sheila because they're just awesome people. And the energy over at their church was wonderful. And they were so kind to me, my daughter, my entire family. Of course, you guys know my mom's celebrating her 82nd birthday, and she was there with us as well. So it was really a great time in the Lord and just to be with that church family. I miss my church, Cane Creek. I love them. Love you, everybody over there. Y'all know I do. But I just did a visit today with Olivet. So it was pretty cool. Then we had dinner with my mom, and now I'm here with you. So I'm hoping that you had a wonderful, blessed Sunday like I have. My husband is just the best husband in the world. He's been hanging out with me all day, and then now he's in the studio with me. Of course, he will not go on air, but he's hanging out. And of course, we have Mr. Mark here, who's going to make sure we get everything all tuned in and stay on point with how we begin and end the show. And then his show comes up. So listen up, guys, right after me, because Mr. Mark has a wonderful show that always starts off with Tell the Lord Thank You. Tell the Lord thank you. So that's what we're going to do. So we thank you, Lord, for this day and the show today, because the show we're going to talk about Black Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair and Every Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair. So our phone lines will be open today at 901-535-9342. That's 901-535-9342. And my chat room is already open. As you can see, I've already posted a couple of things there because I wanted you to have those links so that you can purchase my book if you don't already have it, because my book is just going to be something that is a great tool for you, that's going to like be a reference piece, something that you can actually read along with me, and then sometimes you can just, hey, read on your own. And then I'm going to open up my chat box because I have some questions from people who listened to the show last week. We had a great time on last week, and it was just, you guys are just awesome. We had tons of questions. And so thank you so much for those questions. So let's get ready with the questions today. Let's go. We have our phone lines. Let's see who we've got here. If I think I might know. Hello and welcome to Ask the Hair Doctor. I knew that was you. Thank you so much for calling in. Okay, Mr. Barr can hear you. Nisi is not Nisi. Nisi was already retired, and so I think she retired a second time. Taking care. I know, and tell us about those grandbabies, right? Well, she's got some, and I don't have any either. So we both are together, Anita. That's right. I will do that. All right, you too. Thank you. Bye bye. I knew that was Anita. We can always count on her. She is so sweet. Guys, I'm going to just say it. She's like my favorite. Okay, I've said it because she calls in every week to check on me and just really let me know that she's out there listening up. So I'm really thankful for Anita. All right. Okay, so we are talking about Black Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair and Every Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair. Just kind of give you a little history on my books. Black Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair was actually my third book. These were my books where I got like a book deal with a publisher. So the other two books I self-published, but they were great. One was The Image Maker, and the other one was The Journey from Kinky to Straight, and The Journey from Straight to Kinky, and all its pit stops. It was great. It was great. It was about women losing hair and of course, I'm always talking about and trying to address our real issues. So it was about that, as well as just their journey. Like if you want to transition to natural hair, or if you want to transition to relaxed hair, it's a journey and you just have to be prepared for it. So that was a pretty cool book. Image Makers was more about the just hairstyles, healthy hairstyles, and just a little commentary on how to do them. But the book Black Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair, it's more like a 7-week outline program. And it's just kind of the foundation that you'll need to build healthy hair now and for years to come. Because think about it, our hair is growing, shedding, it's resting the follicle, and then it's growing again. So you want to have a good, healthy foundation and just a healthy hair regimen so that you can be empowered to really help yourself. I tell my patients all the time, help me help you. So Black Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair is really more about becoming empowered. The whole 7-week program empowers women by giving them just new tools and a new roadmap to ensure that not only do you have hair that has a style, but it's really beautiful. And what I call beautiful hair is healthy hair. So this is so important. So just to give you an idea of a few things that I'm going to talk about in this book, I'm going to kind of go down a little list of those things. But I just want you to know my phone lines are open and my chat room is open. My phone number here, if you'd like to call in and have a question for me, is 901-535-9342. That's 901-535-9342. And also my chat room is open. I just want to make sure to see if we have any questions yet. It is open, and I have the links to both of my books here. I have the link to Black Woman's Guide and then Every Woman's Guide. So you can go right to my page. You can also get it on Amazon if you choose to do so. All right, some of the things that we learn in the book. I really want, this is a mystery for a lot of ladies. I want to teach you how to determine hair type and hair texture and the appropriate hair care products for your hair type and hair texture. And I think that's really cool because that's like, and it's crucial. It's the foundation to having healthy hair. And first, we need to understand type. And I'm just going to give you a little brief synopsis of the book besides the outline. In texture and type, you learn that texture deals with the size of your strand. It deals with the diameter, how large that strand is. So you can have a small, medium, or large strand, or a fine, medium, coarse strand. And then you can have a strand that should be fine, but it's turned out to be thin. And that's called a texture change. So you'll learn all about how your hair can go from, say, coarse hair to medium hair, or from medium hair to fine hair, and from fine hair to thin hair, or coarse hair eventually going to thin hair. And thin is hair that's weak and lacks fullness and life. And that, what we appears to be the life, because, our hair is just dead keratinized cells. But texture deals with the size. And why is texture so important? Because as you lose texture or your hair begins to become smaller, you also lose those protective, precious cuticle layers that actually protect your hair so that you can have full hair and so that you won't break. So your cortical fibers are not exposed. So you have good elasticity. So you have good porosity. All those things are important. So protecting your texture, knowing your texture allows you to know what you need to take care of your hair, how much you can tolerate in terms of heat, because heated tools are not a problem. How much of that can I tolerate? It depends on your texture. In other words, the size of your strand. And then it's type. Type is whether your hair is straight or kinky. And kinky hair that is spiraled, you can have slightly degree of kinky, medium degree of kinky, and then extreme degree of kinkiness to your hair. So those are the spiralness or kinkiness to your hair. And then whether your hair is straight. Straight is straight. If it's any little bend in it, then it's no longer straight. It's kinky. Just like when you have one drop of black blood in you, you're no longer another nationality, you're a black. I just thought I'd say that one. I thought that was kind of cute. Whether you will or not, I don't know. Okay, guys, say hello, someone. I know you guys are out there because I see you logged in. Say, how are you guys doing? Tell me about your Sunday. And then if you don't have a question, let's just kind of listen up like you're doing. But just tell me about your Sunday if you want to. All right. All right. So another thing I'm going to do is teach you guys how the importance of shampooing and conditioning and the best for the best hair possible, because this is something that's simplistic. I mean, I have a lot of patients who come in and they have specific programs to deal with their problems as I do the analysis, because everything that I recommend when I do the hair and scalp analysis is based on the analysis. And we talked about analysis. We talked about what I do, that microscopic and physical examination of the hair and scalp. And so one of the things that you need to keep in mind is your hair and scalp is going to need cleaning based on what the needs of your hair and scalp. All right, you have dry hair. You say, well, okay, I have dry hair, so how often should I shampoo? And that's a big question. But one of the first things I say in the book, which is very vague, is shampoo as needed. Well, you're like, well, what does that mean? How do I know what is needed? So I go into details about the book and that in the book. But I want to give you, like I said, a brief synopsis of that particular area as well. Shampooing the hair and scalp And we're going to talk about this some more next week. But the hair and scalp get collects pollutants, dust, dirt, and debris, and environmental pollutants, just dust, dirt, and debris, cosmetic pollutants, hair products that we use every day. And then it collects just your scalp pollutants where your skin is trying to renew itself. So you have this a peeling of the scalp. Now, you won't see it as a flake unless it's excessive, but your hair collects that. So you need to have a shampoo that's going to clarify pH of your hair and scalp so that you won't have to worry about whether or not your hair and scalp is going to be clean without being stripped, especially if you have dry hair. And then how often? After about 3 days, you have this buildup, and it's just a natural buildup that occurs. So 3 days you've got dirty hair and scalp, but after 7 days it's pretty filthy. So at that point you want to shampoo it at least once a week. If you have some scalp and hair problems or on a special program, you have to shampoo more. And of course, you always shampoo depending on how active you are. If you're working out, if you are swimming or things like that, then you need to shampoo more. Now, wait a minute. I guess you're saying, what do I do with my hair? I can't style my hair like that. Then that's when we talk about a quick fix, something that's going to help you to understand more about how to style your hair quickly. So, because it really it's not the shampooing or the conditioning problems, it's just what do I do afterwards? You see? So the other piece is conditioning. We're going to talk about how what you need in conditioning, what's important in a brief synopsis of that. We need two things. We need protein and moisture. And you've heard me talk about this time and time again, but I go over it in detail in my book. And I also did a full cyber reading on my book. So you have commentary on each chapter. So I'm pretty excited about that because this gives you an opportunity to not only just hear me say do something, but it also talks about why you need to do it and why the simplistic thing or what seems simple. I've had people to say, I have people that are critics of my book, and they give their positives, and some may say, well, it's too easy. It's nothing, no big deal. Well, the thing that I found is that if you don't know it, it is a big deal. And I think that I found that with my patients, like I'll say, detail shampoo, and then I'll say things like take your fingers and go under the hair, press in the scalp, and they're thinking, why so much detail? But have you ever shampooed with your hands on top of your hair, especially folks with natural hair or hair with any length? What happens? It tangles. So it's something simple like that. Knowing the correct way to just shampoo is so crucial. And then conditioning. You need two things. You need protein for strength and moisture for hydration, because you've got to protect and preserve this hair. To have the best hair possible now and for years to come, you've got to do well in taking care of your hair. So in Black Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair, I talk a lot about that. And I have the cyber reading, as I said. And then using heated tools and chemicals safely and still keeping healthy, strong hair. Hair is dead keratinized cells. Once it emerges from your follicle, it's dead. There's no life to it. Our goal is to protect and preserve our hair so we can have hair that has body and movement and look alive from now and for years to come as it goes through that growth cycle. So if you're going to use heated tools, if you're going to use chemicals, if you're going to wear your hair natural and have to detangle, you've got to know the right way to do this. If you're just tuning in, I'm trichologist Lisa Akbari, and you've tuned into my show, Ask the Hair Doctor. And I'm here each and every Sunday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here live in the WDI studio and iHeartRadio, which means you guys are listening to me all over the world because I am right here with you. So I'm here talking about my books, Every Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair and Black Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair. My phone lines are open at 901-535-9342. That's 901-535-9342. And my chat room is open as well. And we have a question here. Mary wants to know, do my salons to relaxers? Well, Mary, yes and no. Well, what I want to tell you is I offer relaxer services in my healthy hair group salon and in my natural hair salon. We don't offer chemical services like relaxers. So, yes, we offer them in our healthy hair group salons. And that's if you're local in Memphis, then that's at 1266 Sycamore View. Excuse me, 1288. I just built a 12,000 square foot facility and it's 1288 Sycamore View. And that number, let me give you the number. It's 901 380 4445. And you can call for an appointment. They'll be open on tomorrow and help you with some appointments. And again, that's 901. Let's type that in, 901 380 4445. And that's the number to my institute, and that's the World Trichology Institute. Okay, and you can just let them know that you are, oopsie, there we go, and let them know that you are interested in an appointment to have a consultation first. Once you have a consultation, then I would do a scalp scan to determine if there are any problems. One, if your hair and scalp is stable enough to do a relaxer, and if it is stable enough to do a relaxer, then I will make some recommendations on how often you can have a relaxer based on your hair, and I will offer the techniques, some dryer times, all types of things that are going to be helpful to you and the stylist. If you have natural hair, then you can see my salon on Riverdale in Winchester. It's called Naturals, Lisa Akbari Salon. And that salon is, it's open Tuesday through Saturday. And let's get that number. I'm going to type that number in for you. And that's just a second. It's 901. Excuse me, 901 207 2879. And that's natural. Let's type that one in. So in case, okay, it's multitasking for me. It's kind of challenging. All right, 90. What did I say that was? 901 207 2879. 207 2879. That's Natural Salon. And that's the Lisa Akbari Salon. There we go. We're going to get that in. So now, I hope that answers your question, Mary. Okay, so let's go back. And we were talking about the book. And we're talking about Black Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair. And one of the things, the heated tools and the chemicals, again, we're going to talk about that in length in the book as well. The temperature that's right for your hair. Let me give you a little brief synopsis of that particular chapter in the book. One of the things I talk about is how do you know how much heat to use, or is it how often you use a heated tool, or what is the reason why we overheat or have heat damage? And it's never how often you use a heated tool. It's always what happens on contact. It's like, do I have clean, hydrated hair? That's one rule. And I always tell my patients and even the clients and customers that I speak to, it's not, you have to learn the rules. It's not so much that people are not, I don't know, they're having challenges, but the big thing is, it's not so much as we don't really know. We just don't know the rules. You have to learn the rules, and then you have to follow the rules. And so if you do, you can have heated tools, you can do chemicals, you can go natural, you can do whatever you need to do or want to do, or what motivates you about your hair when you look in the mirror. That's what it's about. It's about having healthy hair now and for years to come. And I talk a lot about that. So it's really not how often. Remember I talked about texture earlier. It's more about your texture. What size is my strand? How much heat can this fine hair, this coarse hair tolerate. And those are things that you learn. So it's not how often, it's what happens on contact. Clean, hydrated hair, appropriate amount of heat. And I talk about that in my book as well. So make sure you get my book, Black Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair. And then chemicals. It's not so much and there's this revolution toward natural, this race. Yeah, I'm an earth mama. I love my natural beauties. I love it. Yes, I love my natural hair, but there are ladies who want relaxed hair and they're gonna want relaxed hair. And it's just not fair for us to decide that they shouldn't be able to wear it. And the reason they have problems with it is because they're over processing. So in my book, and this is a brief synopsis of that chapter, I talk about how we over process our hair. And if you're just tuning in, I'm trichologist Lisa Akbari, and I'm here today, and this is my show, Ask the Hair Doctor. I'm here each and every Sunday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we're here today in the WDIA studios and iHeartRadio, which you can hear me from across the world. And this is my show. And I'm talking about my two of my books out of the 4 books I've written. Every Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair and Black Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair. So my phone lines are open at 901-535-9342. And that's 901-535-9342. My chat room is also open. So if you'd like to chat with me, if you have a question for me, in other words, I will be more than happy to answer that question. Okay, so we're talking about the chemicals and like chemicals relaxers, and we can talk about colors as well, but I want to give you a couple of quick little brief synopses on those chapters in dealing with chemical, because the 2 chemicals that we find ourselves dealing with most would be a relaxer or permanent wave, and then hair color. And so I want to talk quickly about how you have problems with these chemicals, or how can you do this safely and still have healthy hair and really a healthy scalp as well. Because the scalp is the foundation. And if you don't have a healthy scalp, then you may have some problems later on with having healthy hair. So just remember that, guys. It's the hair. I tell my patients all the time, I say, listen, your hair is not just floating above your head. It's an appendage of your scalp. I know that seems like I'm poking at you guys, but no, I just want you to really think about that, because we really don't even think about our scalp till we start having a chronic itch, or it flakes, or it burns, or problems. We don't really think, we start to thin, density problems, in other words. So we just want to really keep in tune to that. So chemicals, relaxers. Let's take relaxers and then we'll do colors. Relaxers they're chemicals. I mean, they're strong. They can be dangerous. They have the potential for harm. They have the potential to literally remove the hair off of your head. So this is why so many women are running from them. And I had a patient to tell me once, she said, I believe God told me to stop using relaxers. And so that's why I stopped. And I thought for a minute. And I always try to do a little quick prayer, because, you just don't know where people are coming from. And you want to make sure you give them the right answer that supports what they're trying to say and really what they're trying to do with their hair. So I thought for a minute and I said, I believe you. And she said, wow, because, I'm not one to just try to go around and say God doesn't want us to do relaxers. So she paused and she was really kind of shocked. She said, wow. And I said, you know why I believe you're right when you say that? Because I don't believe God wants you to use anything that is going to be harmful to you. And I think that if you don't understand how to manage your relaxer, if you don't learn about relaxers and what they can do, how to properly prepare your hair and scalp for it, how to properly find this right stylist or technician that can apply your relaxers and remove them properly, and then offer the right maintenance program, and be willing to learn the rules of wearing a relaxer and then following the rules. If you're not going to do that, then I think you're right, and you have not done those. I believe you're right. You do need to get away from it. And I'll say that to anyone else out there listening. If you're wearing a relaxer and you are not willing to learn the rules, and I talk about the rules in my book, Black Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair, and I'll be more than happy. You can email me a list of questions that you may have about relaxers. I'll be more than happy to email you a video with answers going line per line for you. If you're not willing to follow those rules, then you shouldn't wear a relaxer. You should never wear one. And that's how I feel. And that's why I told her, yeah, I believe that you're right. I believe that. So that was a pretty cool thing. Okay, so here's another one. Do you believe in sulfate-free shampoos? Why or why not? Well, I want to be honest with you. This is another question from one of our listeners that's online. I don't sulfate shampoos. Let me just put it this way, and I want to give the correct answer. And I want you to clearly understand me. I conducted a study on surfactants and the cleansing agents, which are what you're speaking of, and how they're made. And I can be honest with you. I didn't find any reason why you shouldn't use sulfate shampoos that contain them. Even though, because the public, the community, my viewers, my people who purchase my shampoos are so afraid of them, I took them out and went over to more natural surfactants. You need cleansing agents. You have to be very careful that you don't turn a shampoo into something that's not a shampoo. You need to be able to clean your hair. And you can't clean your hair with conditioners, and you can't clean your hair with ash water or some of these other plants that people, bentonite clay and what's the other, apple cider and vinegar. You can break up and break down a lot of the pollutants, but you can't clean them away. You need cleansing agents, but you have to find the mildest cleansing agents possible. You have to find a way to keep the pH of your cleansers at a pH that's more acidic, mild, like the pH of your hair and scalp. That's crucial. So that's my answer. So I don't think that they're in line. I want to just make sure, see how you worded your question. Do I believe in them? There's no disbelief as it relates to them. I just believe there's some that are really harsh cleansing agents. And I think people do it, manufacturers do it because, one, it's always been done that way, or because it's just less expensive. But I don't believe that it causes cancer. I just haven't, these studies have not shown me that. I've tried, I've looked. My chemist and I have done studies with this. We've looked and we have read the research, but there's nothing that's really concrete and that can prove it. So it's just, I wanted to make sure you understood, Mary, just how I feel about that. Okay, you have my books and products. Yay, super. Remember to email me if you have any questions about anything relating to my books or my products. Also want to go back into the chemicals. Now, when talk about chemicals, like I said, they have the ability to dissolve your hair. They can cause you to lose hair, but they're chemicals. As long as you know the rules, learn the rules, follow the rules, find the right technician or stylist who is willing to learn the rules, follow the rules, then you'll be fine. The process of a chemical, and this is what you have to understand. I'm going to give you two things that would be great takeaways. I'm going to give you the process of the chemicals, and then I'm going to talk about how often you should have a chemical relaxer if you are one of those out there. And I know the majority of my subscribers right now are natural. So I'm not an advocate for natural hair or chemically treated hair. I'm an advocate for healthy hair. And that's going to be crucial that you really understand that, because I just want to make sure that you know that I am your hair doctor. So whatever question you have, whether you're wearing relaxed hair, natural hair, bleached hair, whatever. I saw a lady as I was leaving church today. She had bleached blonde hair. She said, I need your help. I said, yes, I'm here for you. Just make sure you give me a call. So she'll call my institute. We'll do an analysis. She'll wear her blonde hair and I will get it healthy. And I now will tell her how she can continue to wear blonde hair with it healthy once we get it healthy. So this is the two things about relaxers. Number one, the process of relaxer is to first soften the hair. And then once you soften your hair, and that's like a texturizer. So you're softening. Then once it's softened, this is natural kinky hair, you soften it, so you texturize it. And by the way, those texturizing products out there that they're telling you, there's no such thing. All the texturizing product is just a relaxer. So it is a chemical. It's not a mild nothing. It's a chemical. And then after you soften the hair, you straighten the hair, which is the desired results. If you're getting a relaxer, you're getting a relaxer because you want straight hair. After you straighten the hair, and then if you continue on that same hair that's been softened and straightened, then you're going to do something called thinning the hair. So your texture will change. So you'll have a small strand, smaller than it was. If you continue to relax that hair, then you will have a dissolved strand. Now let me explain that to you. This spills right over into how often should you have a relaxer and why is it that you can thin and dissolve your strands? How does this happen? The way it happens is getting your relaxers too often. Relaxing hair that's already relaxed. So relaxer should be done how often? Well, let's talk about how fast the hair grows. The hair grows at a rate of about a half an inch on the average adult, about a half an inch every, I can say 4 to 8 weeks. It can go beyond. It's all genetically linked. There was a new study that came out that says our hair is only going to grow about 4 inches every year. So that's even less than what I'm saying. So it's only going to grow about a half an inch. We're going to just be safe somewhere around that 8-week mark and beyond. So your stylist and technician has to stay on the natural hair because the natural hair is the only hair that needs straightening. A relaxer is a permanent process on the hair. Once it's relaxed, it's permanently relaxed. So you can't. And this is why we have this revolution from relaxed hair to natural hair, because we have overprocessed our hair, where we're getting them too often and we overprocess. Or you have people that believe that like I said, you got to know the rules and you got to follow them. Believe that once you've had a perm, you can strip it out. Well, you can't. It's not something that you put on top of the hair. You put it on top, it goes into the cortex and it rearranges those bonds. So those bonds are no longer kinky. They're actually straight at this point and they're permanently straightened. So with that being said, you have to make sure that you only relax every 10 to 12 weeks. 10 to 12 weeks, because if you relax any sooner, you're going to have problems. You must have a clear line of demarcation. I like to call it the line of difference, where the new growth ends and the chemically treated hair begins. You have to have a clear line there. With that clear line, then your technician or stylist can perm or relax or reperm or retouch that natural hair, and that's the only hair that you want to relax. That's it. That's important. Okay? So we're on, if you're just tuning in, I'm trichologist Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor, and we're here today talking about hair. We're talking about my 2 books, Every Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair and Black Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair. And we're just kind of going through some of the chapters in the book, and I'm just kind of giving you a brief synopsis of what you can expect in this book. And one of the things I will talk to you about is chemical services and heated tools and those things. So my chat room is open. If you want to chat with me, you're welcome to ask me a question. Just go to YouTube at Lisa Akbari. and on YouTube, or you can call in. You can call in 901 535 9342. That's 901 535 9342. So I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys. We've had the phone lines have been very, very quiet today. I'm very surprised. I guess you guys are listening, huh? Yeah, I've got like one, two, maybe three chats, but that's it. Last week I couldn't even get them answered quick enough. So, what are you guys out there doing? Enjoying this beautiful sunny fall day? But some of you are actually listening. You're just not asking questions. Okay, cool. Well, I'm happy when you're listening because when you're listening, that means you're learning. So, okay, but our phone lines are lit up now. Hi there, and welcome to Ask the Hair Doctor. You have a question for me? I'm doing well. How are you? Uh huh. Okay. Okay. If you've cut your hair, you said that you cut your hair all the way down to the scalp and you wanted to know what can you do to get your hair longer again. Is that correct? Okay. And what in my product line? Well, there's a Get the Length program that I have, but I really need you to fill out a questionnaire first because I want to hear your story. Anytime you order my Get the Length, I want to write a custom program. I don't want you to just buy my product. I want to hold your hand through this process because this is worrying you. You talked to me about it several weeks ago, and then now you're here again and you still have the same question. That means that I have not helped you with this question. I'm sorry. So I'm going to hold your hand with this one. So what I want you to do, do you have access to the internet? Okay. Okay. So what I want you to do is go on my website and I want you to order the Get the Length program. And I'm going to recommend my book. With that, there's a book package you can get that has the products. I'm going to write you a custom program. There's a regular Get the Length program, but I want to write you a custom program. That's what I'm doing. And I'm going to do this major cyber Get the Length program come in 2017, starting January. But I want to get you started now because you've been suffering with this and I know you're tired of it. So what I'm going to do, let me put my Get the Length and Black Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair link. Are you online right now? Just listening from the radio? Are you just listening from the radio? Okay. Okay. Well, I'm going to just email me, Lisa. Let me give you my email address. Can you write it down? Absolutely, absolutely. And you just take your time. I'm just going to keep talking. Yeah, because you folks out there who are suffering with the inability to like have long hair, if you're just really just like, I don't really know what to do. I don't know. I mean, it's something called short hair syndrome. And I have a Get the Length program. And that Get the Length program, I'm going to give you my email address so that you can get on board. And I'm going to send you a questionnaire. I want you to email me, remind me of our conversation, and then ask for the questionnaire on the Get the Length program. Mike, you ready? Okay, my email address is lisa@lisaakbari.com, and I'm going to spell it for you, okay? It's Lisa at LISAAKBARI.com. BARI.com. I'm going to spell it one more time. It's Lisa at lisaakbari.com. And that's my last name is spelled Akbari.com. COM. Yes. That's my personal email address, and you can email me, and I answer all those emails. Okay, absolutely. And what's your name? Marie. Marie. Marie, I am going to look for that email. Th- Oh, tomorrow's fine because that's when I'll start checking them. Thank you. God bless you. Bye bye. And yeah, this is a pretty big deal for a lot of ladies. I mean, it's like they're just freaking out about this. Why doesn't my hair, you'll hear them say, why don't doesn't my hair grow, and why those kinds of things, and my hair grows to a certain length and stop. And those are things I talk about a lot in my both my books. Okay, so we talked about chemicals, we talked about heated tools. Now we're gonna also talk about how to take care of your scalp in my books, Black Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair and scalp, and get rid of itchy, flaky, and dryness, because I think that's a big deal. And itching is like a headache. It tells you that something's wrong. Flaking could be, it's not all flakes are equal. It could be something like environmental cosmetics. It could be something as simple as you're not using a clean product. It can be just dead skin cells, just peeling. But it could also be something more serious. So we need to know the difference. And dryness. What happens? Why is our scalp so dry? And then choosing a salon. I go into really big details with this because I think that choosing a salon and a stylist is really, really important. We have some incredibly talented stylists in this city and across the country. I mean, incredibly talented. But there's a specific style and care that you need for your hair and scalp. And you've got to find that person. And there's a list of things that you want to put down about your own hair and your own scalp before you choose a stylist or a salon. You also want to always ask for a consultation, because that's crucial, because you need someone to stop, sit, talk, look at your hair and scalp and learn about your hair and scalp before they just start styling it. Okay, that's important. We're also going to talk about managing new growth without literally pulling your hair out, without pulling it and breaking and dryness, those kind of things. And then we're going to manage your style so your hair just looks beautiful every day. And that falls under that umbrella, when we talked about, hey, what do I need to do to shampoo my hair more often? What's my quick fix style? Those kinds of things. Hair and scalp problems among Black women are at a all-time rise. I mean, but Black Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair can stop these problems right in their tracks. This is important. And as I was talking to Maria, I was telling her, listen, I'll hold your hand. I know I'm busy, but if you send me an email, your email will get eventually returned from me. And if you ever have a situation where you have a 911 email, put it in there so that I can try to pull you to the top of the pile. Some folks won't mind being skipped. I know they won't. So everybody can't be 911. Okay, guys, remember that. Okay, so let's talk quickly because we're going to be out of time in a minute. But let's talk quickly about Every Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair, which is one of my books. It was actually my fourth book that I wrote. But these two that we're talking about today is Black Woman's Guide and then Every Woman's Guide. So let's look at that book and talk about what that particular book has in it. It's like my latest book. Well, Every Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair is just, it's really about women in general and their hair. Um, her look, that's the most important thing with women. Beautiful clothes, makeup can go so far. If the hair is aging badly, and my book is called Every Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair at Any Age, then that's going to be a problem. Moving through the many stages of life from puberty to menopause, your hair will change as you age, but it's really not going to change the way you think it might. And you might think that certain things is going to automatically happen, and they just won't. So, as a trichologist and once a stylist, I'm going to tell you and every woman that reads my book what really happens to your hair. Why is why is my hair doing these things? How can I keep my hair beautiful for a lifetime? Tips in my book will apply to all types of hair, all styles, all textures of hair. And you won't just sit back and just take it anymore when you're dealing with your hair. You won't just go and say, okay, well, here's my stylist and they're in control and just whatever. No, you're going to be proactive. You're going to be assertive. You're not going to be passive. You're not going to be reactive. We're going to be proactive and we're going to be assertive. We're going to learn how to take control of our hair, even like as we get older. What about that white hair? Those white friends that came to the front of our hairline that wasn't invited. Well, they're here. And the gray is just an illusion because of the dark and the white. So we call it gray. But those white hairs, how do we control and how do we care for them? Why are they so wiry? What's going on with that hair? I mean, really. It's bad enough that you showed up, and then you're going to be drier. We're going to talk about that in my book. You know, that one's kind of personal for me. How permanent is a permanent? What does that mean when we talk about chemicals? So I just kind of go into some of the things that are in Black Woman's Guide, but it's really, really go into that about that. Getting to the bottom of it all, how to have a scalp half its age. I do analysis on women every single day. Oh, when I'm in my institute, not every day anymore. But what I find is that women, I can look at some young women that are in their 20s and their skin is aging. It's kind of like a person, you look at their face and you're like, why do you have so many wrinkles and you're in your 30s? So a lot of times the scalp can look older, 10 and beyond years older than it really should look. Maintenance, prevention of hair loss. So we're going to talk about how do we stabilize our hair? And once we stabilize, how do we maintain that stability? And then once we maintain that stability, how do we prevent these hair problems from ever coming back? And I'm going to just step it up a notch with my 7-week program. How to get our hair and scalp younger in 7 short weeks. This is a big thing for me. In chronic states, yeah, we have to go 12 weeks sometimes, but 7 weeks is going to be such an important number for us with our hair. We're going to have that number of completion. It's 7 weeks. We have, it said, is the protein in your products the same as keratin? Wow, this is a great question. We have a question on our chat room. You need in your product. We use keratin, but we also use other vegetable proteins. The most in things like I'll use flaxseed, and I'll use a protein from a flaxseed. I'm used from soy. It's usually vegetable. It's always vegetable, no animal protein. It's always vegetable protein. But we want to make sure that we're using protein that has the least amount of dehydrating effects on the hair. Because protein is dry, the hair is mostly composed of protein. We need protein to strengthen, but we also need hydration to balance that. So when I use the protein on the hair, it's going to give you a stronger head of hair, and the correct amount and the correct types and the correct blend and how it's processed. All of that is important. What you use is how it's processed and how the product is formulated. So that's a great question. But you will have protein that's going to strengthen, but we also use the moisture to hydrate as well. Okay, so that was a great question, Mary. Thank you so much. Mary has just been leading the way in questions today. I think we have about 10 minutes left. Yep, about 10 minutes, maybe a little less. But this has been a great show, guys. I want you to do this. I want you to email me if you have any questions for me. You can email me at Lisa. Let's put that up again. I think I may, no, I put my telephone number. So we're going to talk about that just a second. Lisa at Lisa Akbari.com. Now that's my email address. So if you'd like to email me, if you want to go on my website and you can purchase my products online, and that's Lisa, Akbari. So it's just lisaakbari.com. And we're going to put that www in front of it, even though I don't think you even need it anymore these days. www.lisaakbari.com. There we go. So you have my email address, you have my website address, and then you have my telephone number to the World Trichology Institute and that in my natural salon. And those numbers is 901-380-4445. If you have a chronic situation with your hair, like a chronic itch, chronic flaking, breakage, hair just won't grow, problems with your hair and scalp and have had them and just don't know what to do, you can come in for a hair and scalp analysis. If you just want someone to just look at your hair and talk to you about your hair, you should come in for a consultation. And this is worth the time and energy and money. Very affordable. It's something you can do because you really want, time is out, but you just get your hair done. Because there's so many people, there's an epidemic of hair loss among women, men, and even our children. So it's crucial for us to take the time to learn the rules and then follow the rules. I just want to let you guys know something that's coming up because I'm pretty excited about this as well. I'm going to do, and you heard me mention it earlier, I'm going to do a cyber Get the Length program. So I'm excited about that because this Cyber Get the Length program is going to be where I work with you guys here. Now, the other piece that I want to do, I want to do something a double, and you guys can email me and tell me what you think, or call me and tell me what you think about this. And my number is 901-535-9342. You can say don't do it, or you can say yay, go for it, because I know you're out there. You can just type in yes or no. I want to do two things. I want to do another big relax, and what I want to do is relax my natural hair. Wait a minute before you lose it over there. And then I want to transition my natural hair, my relaxed hair, back to natural while doing the Get the Length. So I want to do a cyber, big relax, cyber transition. You'll see the whole thing. You'll see me put the relaxer on. You'll see everything. And then I want to do, because before I did it, and it wasn't as, I don't know, I just didn't stay as in tune to you. I didn't really, I would come back after 5 weeks or 6 weeks, but there are challenges, or 13 weeks, or I would come back. I mean, but I feel like I need to do some weekly things with you guys, just some weekly challenges, showing you some different hairstyles, because that way it's twofold. I can help my sisters who are wearing relaxers and want to continue to wear their relaxer, and then I can help my sisters who are like, relaxer, I want to grow natural and transition, and then I can help my sisters who want long hair. So hair beyond the shoulder or hair past the ears, I can help them. Now, I'm not going to do the big chop. I'm not going to do that, because I want you to see that you don't have to cut your hair off, because it's pretty traumatic to cut your hair. So you guys got to say something. Tell me, do you think that's a good idea, what I'm trying to do, or yes or no? Let me see, because I can see how many of you guys are out there. So I know you're out there in numbers. Come on, talk to me, guys. Tell me. My phone lines are open at 901-535-9342. We're about to go off the air in about 5 minutes. So tell me if what you think, or you can give me a chat saying yes or no to what I'm about to do. Do you want me to transition for you and the cyber Get the Length? Or do you think, no, don't do the relaxer, don't do the transition? I'm cool with it because I know you need to know how easy it is. And there's so many sisters who have chopped their hair and they're rocking that short fro and looking good. But then there are a lot of sisters who are like, what did I do? And they're really traumatized and they're like hiding under wigs. And then some of them don't have enough for sewing, or they chop it and then they get enough for sewing and sewing. But I want you to be able to see how you can wear your hair and style your hair without a problem. Okay, we're gonna see if we can get a call in. Hi, oops, we lost them. Okay, guys, I'm sorry I didn't see it blinking. So call back if you'd like to, because we got about 4 minutes left. No, we got how many minutes? 2 minutes. Oh, I forgot we went on early today. Okay, well, let's see if you guys gave me some chats there. Everybody's quiet. Well, wait, you can email me if you don't want to, if you don't want to say anything. But caller, if you called, you can, let's see if we can get you in. We have about a minute left. But this has been a great show. This has been a outstanding show. You guys have been listening a lot, which means that you have been learning a lot. Okay, so let's see our next show next week. Next show will be, we're going to be talking about, let's see here. All righty now. Today we talked about my books. And next week we're going to be talking about, let's scroll down. And it's just so you know, all my shows are archived and they're on my site. So let's see. And so you can go back. They're also archived on YouTube. You will be able to take a look at those. And that'll be October 30th, I think. Is next week? Yeah. Yeah, we're going to talk about clarifying the hair and scalp. That's a biggie because so many people are so afraid of clarifying the hair and scalp. And then the following week after that, November 6th, we're going to talk about detangling. So guys, to God be the glory in Jesus. You know I love you. I'm Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor, and I'll see you next week right here at the WDIE studios and iHeartRadio on Sunday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. for Ask the Hair Doctor.
This is Kenny Guess Who Lagging, inviting you to stay tuned to Mr. Mark Stansberry Sunday Evening's Best Gospel right here on WDIA. The sound drop.
Mary said, no, don't do it. Oh, Mary, come on. Mary, I got to do one for the team, girl. Come on. I need your encouragement. Hi there. Are you looking for Mark's show, or did you have a question for the hair doctor? For Mark?
No, for the hair doctor.
I'm sorry?
For the hair doctor.
Okay, what's your question? We're going off the air.
Oh, I'm sorry. Real quick, I just wanted you to touch on, maybe next week on a regimen for the fall winter.
Oh, yes, that's coming up big time. So make sure you call back next week, and we're going to do that over the air, okay? And email me, and I can send you a video answer right away, okay? All right, thanks, dear. All right, bye. Bye. Okay, yeah, we had a caller to call in, so we are done. Thank you guys so much. I love you. I will see you guys next week. Remember, go easy on me on this because I got to do one for the team, guys, with this relaxing my hair. I will be back with the natural hair. I love my natural hair, but I think that we need a little help with that transition thing. I just think you guys are out there doing some crazy stuff trying to transition. And plus, you're losing hair and you're suffering. I can hold your hand with this one. Have a wonderful, blessed morning, evening, or afternoon. I love you. Talk to you soon. See you next week.